Now, Senator Gary Peters, who, like McCain, a member of both the Senate Armed Services and Homeland Security Committees, Senator Peters has also called for a bipartisan investigation into Russia's involvement in our election and into Michael Flynn. Senator, welcome.
Well, it's great to be with you. Thank you.
So, my goodness, where in the world to begin? Let's just begin with what we just heard. You know, the sound from Senator Blunt, the sound from Senator Schumer. I mean, I imagine you stand behind this notion of having this bipartisan investigation into figuring out what the heck happened.
Absolutely. You know, this should not be a partisan issue. This is a basic American issue. When you have a foreign government that we know was interfering with an American election, and then you see this trail of other activity that raises all sorts of questions, it certainly doesn't end with the resignation of General Flynn. To me, that just poses even more questions. We need to move beyond partisanship. This should be bipartisan or have an independent commission. The American people need to know. This is an incredibly serious issue, potentially. We need to know the facts, and we've got to take the politics out of it because it is just much, much too serious.
We just learned from that White House briefing that, you know, President Trump found out about all of this last month on January 26th. So why do you think it took him 19 days to lose trust in Michael Flynn?
I can't explain it. I think that you have a senior advisor who lied to the vice president, put the vice president on national television to say something that turned out not to be true. Of course, we don't know exactly what he told the president. I think those are questions. Did the president know more? Did he know it earlier? How much did he know? I mean, that's why this independent investigation is so important. We are seeing a lot of smoke, and my experience has been, particularly on an issue like this, when you start seeing some smoke and more smoke, there tends to be a lot of flame behind that, and that's what we need to be looking at.
Let me ask you exactly about all the smoke, because now you have these three former Trump advisors, Mike Flynn being the third, right? They're now all under investigation into some sort of ties with Russia. You have, you know, these both sides calling for an independent investigation, a bipartisan investigation here. There is a lot of smoke. We haven't seen flames, Senator, but Are you suspicious of President Trump?
Well, I think we all are. I think the American people need to be, especially when you just start putting these actions together. We know during the Trump campaign, his senior advisor, Mr. Manafort, was involved with Russian, had strong Russian ties. Then you see the Russians engage in election activities, and very clear that they tried to manipulate and to influence the election. And then you don't see President Trump talking tough on Putin. In fact, he embraces Mr. Putin, even though Russia continues to engage in illegal activities in Ukraine.
So if
and
you're
continues to have
suspicious, Senator, I'm hearing all your examples of suspicion, then do you trust Donald Trump in getting intelligence briefings?
Well, I think that is a real concern, and you might be seeing intelligence officials who are patriots, care deeply about this country, aren't afraid that some of the information that they are collecting may not be used in an appropriate way. That is a very difficult position for a commander-in-chief to be in.
Are you hearing that fear directly, sir?
I think you're seeing that by some of the information that's coming out, that you have people that are certainly raising some very serious questions within these agencies.
What about Jason Chaffetz, Congressman Jason Chaffetz, the House Oversight Committee chairman? He, you know, has just now announced this investigation into the handling of classified information down at Palm Beach at the club Mar-a-Lago. You know the story, and I'm sure you've seen all the pictures here of, you know, Prime Minister of Japan, Shinzo Abe, and President Trump through, you know, lights from iPhones reading classified documents at a dinner party.
Yeah.
Your response to this call for this investigation?
It's outrageous. That's why we have to have these investigations. We're going to be facing some very serious issues going forward. In fact, I'm heading to Munich to talk with European leaders about security in Europe. We've got a story that broke today in the New York Times about some intermediate nuclear missiles that are actually a violation of prior treaties. You know, how's the president going to react? He needs to act tough. He needs to push back on Russia. We have not seen that, and there may be a reason why we're not seeing that, and that's what we have to find out.
Senator Gary Peters, Democrat from Michigan, thank you so much, sir, for your time.
Thank you.
Good luck with all of this. Breaking news.